You are not weak by default. You are not born pathetic. But every time you open that incognito tab, every time you retreat into that glowing screen for 10 seconds of pleasure, you train your mind to give up. You're not relaxing. You're not unwinding. You're handing over your willpower like it's nothing. Porn is not harmless. Porn is not normal. Porn is the ultimate enemy of masculine potential, and it's laughing while you destroy yourself. Let's stop pretending this is just a bad habit. Let's cut the crap. This is an addiction that has hijacked millions of men, especially the young, hungry, and driven. The very ones who were supposed to be warriors, kings, leaders. You know it's killing you. That regret when it's over, that sick taste in your mouth, that moment when you wipe your screen and realize you've accomplished nothing. That's your soul screaming for a way out. But you don't listen. You drown it with another hit of dopamine. And then you wonder why you feel like a ghost in your own life. Every minute you spend watching porn is a minute you're not spending building yourself. You could be mastering your body. You could be improving your income. You could be reading, training, leading. But instead, you're hunched over in a dark room with your pants down, worshiping pixels like they're gods. That is not strength. That is not manhood. That is submission. You're being farmed, controlled, neutered. You think porn is a product, but you're the product. Your attention, your energy, your very essence is being siphoned by an industry that profits from your weakness. They don't care if you're depressed. They don't care if your sex life crumbles. They don't care if you fail at life. They only care that you come back, again and again, like a rat pushing a dopamine button, and you're the one feeding it. Now, let's go deeper. Why do you keep doing it? Because it's easy. Because life is hard, and porn is simple. It doesn't reject you. It doesn't ask you to improve. It gives you the illusion of pleasure without requiring power. But that illusion is killing you. And deep down, you know it. This is not just about sex. It's about your entire existence. Porn is an escape hatch from the battlefield of life. But every man who escapes the war becomes a prisoner, not a victor. You were meant to conquer, to compete, to build. Every time you watch porn, you give that up. You trade your masculinity for a moment of weakness. You make the world worse because you refuse to become better. So here's your wake-up call. If you don't kill this habit, it will kill you. Slowly, quietly, mercilessly. And when it's done with you, you'll look in the mirror and wonder where your power went. Porn didn't take it. You gave it away. Porn doesn't just kill your time. It rewires your brain. You think you're just watching a video. You're not. You're chemically altering your mental framework. Your reward system, the same one that motivates you to chase success, pursue women, dominate your craft, is being hijacked and rerouted toward useless, mindless, digital pleasure. Dopamine is the currency of motivation, and you're blowing it all on nothing. Think about that. Your ancestors fought wars, climbed mountains, built civilizations. You can't even keep your hand off your dick. Let that sink in. You watch porn, and afterward you wonder why you feel numb, why you can't focus, why you procrastinate, why your goals feel like dreams instead of missions. It's because you're frying your dopamine receptors like a drug addict. The same chemical loop that destroys heroin users is what's destroying your attention span. You're addicted to novelty, not achievement. And guess what? Your brain doesn't know the difference between digital sex and real sex. So when you watch porn, you think you're winning. Biologically, you feel rewarded. But in real life, you're getting weaker, softer, more pathetic with each session. And this isn't just about watching a few videos here and there. This is about what happens over months, years. You start to experience porn-induced depression. You're not just lazy, you're chemically crippled. That deep-rooted sadness you can't explain, the anxiety that bubbles up before social situations, the fear of responsibility, the hopelessness, the self-hate, that's the long-term cost of training your brain to expect pleasure without purpose. Your mind is supposed to be a weapon. Porn turns it into a sponge. A weak, tired, overstimulated sponge that can't hold a single thought long enough to act on it. How many business ideas have you ignored because you were too fogged up to pursue them? How many workouts have you skipped because you drained yourself to some low-res pixels? How many women have you failed to connect with because your brain can't recognize real intimacy anymore? You think you're in control, but if porn owns your brain, you don't own your life. This is a war for your mind. You can either take control of your mental wiring or let algorithms decide who you are. You want to become a champion, a king, a machine? Then you need full control of your mental real estate. Every scroll, every click, every Just one more video weakens your edge. You're slicing your own throat with your own hand. If you want freedom, mental clarity, elite discipline, unstoppable momentum, then step into the pain of control. Porn is not just entertainment. It's psychological suicide. Purpose isn't something you find. It's something you build. Through pain, repetition, challenge. But if every time you're stressed, tired, lonely, or bored, you run to porn, you'll never face that pain. You'll never develop the grit necessary to build anything real. Men who stay addicted to porn are men who live in reaction, not in creation. They chase comfort. They avoid tension. They lose their edge. They suffer in silence and lie with a smile. They say everything's fine, but their life is a wasteland. No mission, no momentum, no meaning. Let me make this clear. A man without purpose is a man waiting to die. He might look alive, walk, eat, breathe, but spiritually, he's dead weight. Because without direction, you're drifting. And porn is the anchor around your neck. It's robbing your energy. You think you're tired from work or stress. No, you're tired because your hormones are fried, your confidence is cracked, and your life is void of real pursuit. Porn sedates your hunger. It tells you, don't worry, you don't need to improve. Just sit there and enjoy this. You fall for it. Over and over. Men who watch porn excessively ruin their relationships. They stop chasing their woman. They lose the ability to emotionally connect. They view women through a lens of domination and detachment. The romance dies. The respect dies. The masculinity dies. You think you can be a high-value man and still hide in the corner jacking off every night? You can't. Every orgasm you waste on a screen is energy stolen from your mission. So the next time you feel that urge, ask yourself, do I want to create a legacy or just come and forget? You know that empty feeling after you finish? That regret? That heaviness in your chest? That's not random. That's your soul knowing it just got betrayed. And the traitor was you. Porn is spiritual rot. You pretend it's harmless, but it eats away at your self-respect like acid on metal. You go from feeling like a man to feeling like a parasite, a watcher, a weak observer who gets pleasure from watching others win while you rot in the background. It's not just the act, it's the pattern. You start to think you're unworthy of real women. You become insecure, shy, and timid around feminine energy. You hide. You feel like a fraud. Your shoulders shrink. Your voice softens. Your power dies. You become a spectator of your own desires. A virtual cuck. That's the raw truth. The guilt piles up. You try to justify it. Everyone does it. At least I'm not cheating. It's better than drugs. But deep down you know you're lying. You hate what you've become. And still, you go back. That's the nature of addiction. The same hand that feeds you poisons you. Men were not made to live in shame. We were built for conquest. But porn makes you small, quiet, hesitant. Every stroke of that screen is another piece of confidence stripped from your DNA. So you walk through life half present, half dead, wondering why you're anxious, why you can't speak up, why women ignore you, why your voice has no bite. It's because deep down you don't respect yourself. And self-respect is the foundation of masculinity. Want to reclaim your power? Cut the rope that ties you to digital weakness. Resent the shame. Burn it out of your system. Build a life so righteous that you never feel the need to crawl back to that pixelated hellhole. Start respecting yourself before it's too late. You think porn is just mental? No, it's hormonal warfare. It's biochemical sabotage. A 2021 study on 563 men showed the hard truth. Frequent masturbation to porn tanked testosterone and DHT. It reduced sperm count, impaired testicular function, boosted prolactin, the anti-drive hormone. This is not anecdotal. This is science. You're chemically neutering yourself, one video at a time. T levels are everything for a man. Confidence, aggression, drive, strength, sexual dominance. Without them, you're a neutered lion. A male in body, but not in spirit. A drone who scrolls instead of leads. Porn spikes dopamine and prolactin. That surge kills your ambition. It trains your body to release before it earns. That is the opposite of masculinity. You want to wake up ready to attack the day? Then stop killing your natural edge every night behind closed doors. Because every release is a message to your body. We're done. And your body listens. It stops producing like a king and starts functioning like a boy. Testosterone is earned through discipline, through challenge, through the grind. Porn is the anti-grind. You didn't evolve to survive convenience. You evolved to conquer resistance. Quit now, and your body will thank you in strength, drive, and pure fire. Keep going, and you'll become a soft, anxious, emotionally unstable version of who you were meant to be. You want to know why you're awkward? Why you can't hold eye contact? Why you stutter around girls, avoid conversation, and melt under pressure? Because you've replaced real connection with fake confidence from fake women in fake scenarios. Porn tricks you into thinking you've experienced intimacy, but your brain knows it's a lie. And lies don't build courage. They destroy it. You become socially isolated, quiet, hesitant. You develop a subconscious shame that bleeds into every room you enter. You think no one can see it, but they can. Women feel it. Men sense it. You carry it like a stink. And you wonder why you're alone. You're not antisocial. You're overstimulated and underdeveloped. You spent years running from the tension of real connection and let the screen comfort you instead. You chose weakness over risk. Porn keeps you safe from rejection, but it also keeps you safe from growth. To lead, speak, flirt, dominate, you need reps, real-world tension, not false dopamine from your laptop. And the longer you hide, the worse it gets. Porn doesn't make you shy. It makes you less human, a shell of potential with no fire behind your eyes. Burn that bridge. Walk back into the world. Awkwardness is cured by exposure, not escape. Here's a hard truth. Millions of young men today can't even get it up. Not because they're unhealthy, not because they're old, because they've trained their brain to only respond to pixels. You've hijacked your arousal system so badly that a real woman can't even turn you on anymore. You've conditioned yourself to need multiple tabs, angles, genres, and absurd fantasy just to get aroused. Then you wonder why. In bed, you're numb. You lose your erection mid-act. You feel detached. You panic, and it ruins you. You avoid sex altogether. You stop pursuing. You become scared of the one thing you were supposed to master. That's not manhood. That's dysfunction. It's not just ED either. It's premature ejaculation. Delayed ejaculation. No sensation. No drive. Porn creates a distorted sexual blueprint that kills your instinct and your rhythm. This is your wake-up call. If you want to perform like a beast, you have to train like one. And that starts by killing the digital leash. Reset your system. Reclaim your drive. Or live the rest of your life in quiet humiliation, pretending you're okay when you're broken. MRI studies have shown that long-term porn consumption physically reduces gray matter in the brain, specifically the prefrontal cortex. That's your decision-making center, your willpower, your ability to focus. You're not just lazy. You've damaged your operating system. Porn acts like cocaine. It hacks your dopamine system. You build tolerance. You chase stronger, weirder, more extreme content. What used to excite you doesn't anymore. That's how addicts think. That's how addicts die. Your attention span dies with it. You can't read. You can't sit still. You can't focus. You're stuck in a dopamine loop where only high-stimulus garbage excites you, and everything meaningful feels dull. That's why your business failed. Why you quit the gym. Why you stopped pursuing your goals. It's not your fault. It's your wiring. But now, it's your responsibility. Reboot your brain. Go cold turkey. Watch the fog lift. Reclaim clarity. It will be hard. Your mind will rebel. But freedom is on the other side of fire. Leadership is energy. It's presence. It's conviction. If you're watching porn, you have none of those. You can't look someone in the eye when you spent last night bowing to a screen. You can't demand respect when you secretly hate yourself. You can't inspire others when your foundation is rot. Every great man is a master of himself. Not his urges, not his lust. Himself. How can you lead a family, a team, a generation, when you can't even command your own hand? You don't deserve power if you can't conquer pleasure. Because power without discipline is destruction. And porn addicts are ticking time bombs. You want to be a man of weight? Quit. That's step one. Anything less is fraud. There is no moderation. There is no, I'll just cut back. There is only war. Porn is not something you manage. It's something you annihilate. You don't leave the door cracked open for the devil. You bolt it shut and burn the frame. Delete it. Block it. Get accountability. Get mad. You should be furious that a free website turned you into a slave. That's the fire you need. You are capable of glory, of greatness, of being a man who walks into a room and changes the temperature. But not if you keep bowing to weakness. This is your line in the sand. Porn ends today. You kill the addiction, or it kills your destiny. Choose now and never look back.